On my very first day of high school, somebody, I've never found out who, started the story that I had bought an elevator pass from one of the seniors. And an elevator pass to the E-wing of our school. E-wing, of course, didn't have an elevator, you probably guessed that, and E-wing also was one story. So, I never found out who started that story, and if you've studied logic, took a class in logic, you know that it's impossible to disprove a non-existent truth. So I was pegged. I was a geek from that moment on, and I might as well have bought the elevator pass because I was a geek, and that's what I was. I was just awkward. I was shy, but I needed, after that moment, when I became a legend in class, I needed glory. And I knew that some people have glory just thrust upon them. Some people find glory through great acts of courage that lead to heroism and self-sacrifice. Some people find glory by achieving something incredible or creating something wonderful. And some people find glory in an act of chaotic self-destruction and immolation. But I needed glory, and I wanted it any way I could get it and find it. Now, being a geek, there was one place in the high school that for me was a city of refuge, and that was A-Wing, which was the music and art wing of our high school. And within A-Wing, there was a Holy of Holies, and that was the band room. And it was wonderful. When you entered that band room, there were suddenly no geeks, because everyone was a geek. And everyone was a geek, it's a beautiful thing. But there's a strange sociological thing. It also happens when you're in that kind of standard. I found this out about halfway through my freshman year, that even though, on one sense, we're all outcasts and we're all geeks, in another sense, there's still, hierarchies that happen in that. Billy can probably correct me on this later, but I think, when in a chicken yard, there's the head rooster, and everybody, all the chickens know who that is, and they all bow down to him. But when he's gone, and it's just all the peon chickens, there ends up being some peon chickens who are more peonish than others. And the same thing was in the band. In the band, the elite, the high chickens in the band were the members of the stage band, or jazz ensemble, jazz band as you might know it. And so I wanted in on that. And I wanted in on that especially because I had heard about the student who was running it. It was run by a student, it was led by a student. His name was Alan Helm. And he'd already, way down into the middle school, he'd become a legend. He'd become a name to us. He was this incredible child prodigy. He was arranging music by the time he was 8 or 9. He could play any instrument within a week after he picked it up. And the guy was just obsessed with him. He had taken over the stage band. Now, our stage band, I need to tell you, was, to that point, was a total loss. In terms of, it had never even entered the regional stage band competition, which every other high school put a band in. They didn't even enter a band from our school because it was so bad. Well, Alan Helm was determined that he was going to turn that around. Not only was he going to turn that around, but he was going to enter a band in that competition. Not only was he going to enter a band in that competition, but he was going to take it. He was going to walk away with it. And he started his sophomore year, and he didn't enter the band then. And the junior year, didn't enter that band. And it was now his senior year, and we all knew that was the year he had to do it. He had to take the North Jersey Regional Stage Band Festival that year. And I needed to be in the band that year. Well, I don't have time to tell you how I weaseled my way in because I really shouldn't have been in there. But it's a story of shame for another time. We're not talking about glory. I had a fourth trombone, and I was in. And so here we are now. We work. Alan had planned for 3 years for this one moment, this festival. And we rehearsed the entire year working up to it. And we had his secret plan. He alone knew the rules of the stage band festival. And he kept those a secret from us because he said, I have a plan that's going to take this. And what we did was we just kind of threw out everything else that we knew and learned, and we went with his incredible arrangement of the band Chicago's Ballet for a Girl from Buchanan, which is an incredible suite. It's 12 minutes long, which exactly fit the time that we had to be on the stage for the festival. And it just rocks. And this is not the wimpy Pizza Terror Chicago. This is the Chicago as a rock band back in the early days. And so anyway, we've worked for a year. It's the festival now. The whole secret plan is being unveiled. Not only now we've included a bass guitar, electric guitar in our stage band, our jazz ensemble. We've got a full drum set. We show up, we're wearing flowery Hawaiian shirts, shorts and sandals. We've got matching sunglasses. And we walk into Ramapo High School where the contest is being held, and everybody else is in their band uniforms. And we realize, like, this is the plan, and we're going to take this thing. We are so cool. Well, our turn came. We got up on the stage, and long story short, we absolutely rocked the house. I mean, the kids, the other band members, who, they're competing against us, but they've never heard anything like this before. So they erupt, and they're going crazy, and we're da-da-da-da, and we're just rocking and we're swaying, and we get to the end, and they erupt into a roarious applause, and we're loving it, and it was just what we wanted. And at that moment, the judges stormed onto the stage, and they grabbed the microphone away from we actually had a female vocalist, in go-go boots and miniskirt. And the chief judge says, I need to stop this right now, and we need to tell all of you here, as an example, that the Cedar Grove Memorial High School stage band has been disqualified in the contest this year. They have broken every rule in the contest. Apparently you're supposed to wear your band uniform, you were supposed to sit in straight lines, and you provided seats, and you were supposed to play the standards of the jazz ensemble repertoire that the contest had approved. And we all look over at Alan Helm. I'm looking at him, and look at Stacy, and when I looked over at him, I realized he knew this would happen. You bastard. You took us all down with you. And so the judge is up there giving his speech, he's going on, and suddenly, one kid somewhere in the audience started to go, and then 3, and then 7, and then an entire crowd. They were up on their seats and they were cheering and they were running and screaming until the judges had to leave the stage. And we still were disqualified from the contest. But now I looked over at Alan Helm and I realized, you son of a bitch, you didn't know exactly what you were doing. Because we could have taken home the trophy. We were that good. We could have taken home the trophy. The trophy would have been on the shelf. It would have collected dust. It would have been pushed to the back by other trophies. In a couple of years, it would have fallen off the back of the trophy shelf and broken. But Alan Helm went for legend. And I know that today, 40 years later, if I walk into a high school in northern New Jersey, and I said, it's 1974 Ramapo Visual Stage. I know at least one student who said, oh God, were you there? And I'd say, I was in the band. Legend.